Hello, Street Fighter fans. So today we have a viewer request for Menat Season 5, number Trial 1. She has 2 in this season. So I'm going to try to do a breakdown on how I got this trial. It's I did it a while back, so I couldn't really remember how hard this one was. And it is pretty tricky, so I'm going to try to break down how her moves work, or how Menat's her V trigger works, and some of the best techniques to practice this one. Now this one I've broken down into a few steps like I usually do, just to get the muscle memory built and the steps. So we'll run through the demonstration, and if you don't play with Menat, this could be very intimidating, this one, because there's a lot more that it's not showing in the commands on what to do. Especially with her V trigger, you have to tap other buttons to have her orbs come out at the right time to basically go in between, to basically hit Ryu, to go in between moves that normally wouldn't combo. The orbs hitting him will allow you to combo them. So now I'm going to go right ahead and preface by saying I am a button masher. I was able to do this by smashing just a lot of buttons and using extra orbs and things like that originally. So for the viewer that wanted this, I had to really try to practice this the proper way. So I'm a little bit of wild at the end with that uppercut, but the rest of it I think I got it down pretty good. So we'll run through the demonstration anyways. Okay, so as you see that, it's pretty quick and a lot of stuff's going on all at once. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just put a marker in right now and say I'm gonna run through the demonstration and slow it down and put some commentary over top of it, just to sort of show you what's going on. So the first orb you need to do is your hard kick button. You see it launches up and hits Ryu. The second two you need is your medium punch, medium kick button orbs. So you need to tap those at the right time to connect all the combos. So to practice this one, I just started off really at the beginning, just to get a feel for it. It's just the crouch hard punch with that EX ball throw. That was just how I started. Just you want to get the feel for it, because you're hitting light and medium together, going from a hard to light and medium. So depending on if you're using a fight stick, I use a fight stick. If you're using a pad, you may have a little trouble with this one. So you want to really get a feel for that. But that's the only light you have to really use in the whole thing. So if you can do those EXs, then you're probably pretty good at getting this one out. It's a pretty quick tap. Like it's pretty fast motion. It almost looks like it's definitely a cancel, but it looks like it's not very forgiving. So you really have to start that quarter circle, light punch, medium punch, as she's still got that ball almost in the air there. As you can see, it goes past Ryu's head. So it's pretty quick. So after I just sort of got a feel for that, which after that I ignored, what I started doing is I started and you could do this from across the screen. You don't have to be in close to him. So it's like when you go for the try it again, you can just start it from wherever he's at. So you want to just practice those two. Usually I'll break it down from the middle to the ends, things like that, like hard parts to easy parts. This one I just ran down from the top to the middle, and then I'd go back and forth a little bit. So for that medium crouch kick, to connect that, you want to start it before he's even there. So I'll usually just double tap it as he's getting closer. That way I make sure I get that out. From there, what I would do is practice that activating the V trigger. That's not a problem. That's not an issue. Anybody, you know, that's an easy mix. The next tricky part that I found was connecting that slide. Now, I did realize that you have to start that before the V trigger animation is done. That's what I found. So I'm like right near the end of the animation being finished is usually when I would hit that down or get that slide started. Just before it all ends, like not too soon, not too late. And again, practice that until you get a feel for it. The next tricky part that I found, or the next part that was really messing me up, was getting that crouch punch in, hard punch in. It wasn't really that hard per se, but what happens is this is where you have to use your first orb. So if you watch the demonstration, the one orb that comes out to make Ryu reel back enough time for you to connect that sliding punch in is this one. It's the bottom right one. So what you want to do when you are in that sliding kick is tap your hard kick. That's the one you want out. So you want to go right from that sliding kick and then immediately, it didn't connect there, but you want to go immediately tap after your hard kick button, immediately after, because it's the closest one. It's the one that'll allow that to connect. So so basically you're going from a slide and then tapping your hard kick before the animation's done, or you'll end up just tripping and Ryu up. So I'll just try to show you that. So even if you want to just break it down and not practice the V trigger, just practice the V trigger, slide, hard kick. Oops. See, even from a distance, it still connects. But as long as you're hitting that hard kick immediately after, that'll be quite enough to get him reeling back for that connection of that crouch hard punch. So just practice that so you get a feel of how fast you have to do that. So after that part, you want to practice after you get that, you can break it down further and go from hard. This is just a standard Shoto fighter cancel. Your crouching hard punch to a medium Hadoken, quarter circle forward medium. Now I was dropping that a lot. I was messing that up a lot. So what I ended up doing is I started realizing what I was doing wrong was when I was doing the slide, I was still holding forward for that crouch hard punch. So what I use is that crouch hard punch is a cue for me to pull back on my controller, pull down back on my controller. What I was doing was I was messing up with that medium with that. I was messing that up. And I realized that I was just by habit holding down that forward slide and staying in that forward motion. So I used that crouch hard punch to also pull back at the same time. So just so I can make sure I get that full quarter circle in. So what you want to practice is those parts, the slide, crouch hard punch, after the slide, tap the hard kick, crouch charge punch into that or the crystal ball launch. All right, so just practice that because that gets a little tricky after a while. So I'll just run through that a couple times. So V skill, just practice that over and over and over again, and that'll help develop your muscle memory on that part. Like I said, I just found the motions were tricky. Might be easy for some people, it just wasn't for me. As you see, I messed it up there, and it's gonna happen until you get the muscle memory in. So yeah, just practice that over and over again till you get a feel for that, because then it gets really hard after that. At least it did for me. So the next part, how to best describe this? This is where I button mashed a lot, but then I figured out a way not to. So activate your V trigger, and what you could practice is the crouch hard punch. And don't worry about what orbs are out or what isn't, because if you watch the demonstration, you'll see it's those two middle orbs go next. And that's going to allow you to get in the soul spiral. Now, those two orbs are your medium punch and medium kick buttons. So what I would do after launching that ball is I would double tap to get that out, to get the soul spiral out, her V skill. So you could just practice this next part. So, oops. So you want to activate your V skill, launch out the ball, double tap until that spiral comes out. Double tap your medium punch, medium kick, because you're going to be using those medium kicks and medium punch for the V skill anyways. And as you see, he did land in the right area. He landed in the right area where that ball is, where you're going to have to launch him back towards you. See, he's close enough that that would activate. Now, I'm further away than I should be, but I'll try to move in closer to show you how it works. I'll show that it actually works. So there you go. So I was close enough to actually hit him with that V skill. So you want to just keep practicing that. Okay, so by muscle memory, because I've been practicing this for a while, I'm launching him back. So I'm gonna have to explain something with that launching back thing. So the thing is with her ball, as you see when you use the kick, it'll explode and launch Ryu back. If you do with the punch, it just hits him. So the thing is with the V skill, it won't, you need to use those orbs or it's not going to allow that combo to connect. So you obviously have to use your orbs. So this is why it's best to practice the crystal ball launch, the double tap with the medium punch, medium kick, and then add in the kick to explode the ball. Now the thing is with that V skill, if you go too far or if you wait too long after it connects, you won't be able to, her animation won't come out in time. It won't cancel it, basically is what I'm saying. It won't come out in time to allow her to get that ball to explode. So if I can try, I'll try to demonstrate that. See, I'm doing it too soon. I've gotten relatively good at it. So, okay, so instead of sitting here for 5 minutes and trying to do it wrong, I'll just tell you how to do it right. You have to make sure that your quarter circle, getting that ball to explode, quarter circle kick at the beginning of the hit. If you wait too long and she's coming out of that animation, she doesn't seem to want to cancel. That's just something I discovered. So you have to do it as soon as that hits. So you want to double tap and then go right into that quarter circle kick button to make that ball explode. So you're starting it before that whole animation is completed. Like before her leg comes down, you want to do it quickly. So you can even do it. See, even if you want to just practice it like that, yeah, that'll work too. I didn't realize that. I just discovered that. So if you're close enough, there you go. So yeah, you could just practice just that part if you need to. So get your ball out and just practice hitting it back and forth. As you see, like, she won't come out of the launching the ball animation in time. That's where those two orbs come in. So just practice that timing as well. So after that, when he's coming back, if anybody's played with Menat, you'll know that that's where I kept dropping. Now I'm using my medium, so I'm noticing I'm doing it wrong there. So just to get a feel for the for catching him with that uppercut, once you have the ball there, you could just launch out the ball, use your quarter circle forward kick button, and then practice doing that uppercut motion with the kick button. Now I'm just using the mediums because pretty much from the bottom half you're always on medium anyway, so that way you're not having to worry about muscle memory with your fingers too much. So you want to practice that just to get the feel of how quick that is. It's a pretty quick motion. There you go. It's pretty quick. It's a pretty quick motion. So practice that part as well to sort of get your muscle memory for that. So to run down all the buttons, or to the practice that I did, is I didn't worry about that crouching hard punch originally. So I just started practicing with that. So I just broke it down from one piece to the next piece to the next piece to the next piece. And then if I find I was struggling with something, for example, like I was struggling with that, I just stopped practicing the rest of it and just worked on that just to get the muscle memory. I did that about 10, 15 times, 20 times, whatever it took to get to it. And then I also practiced getting those orbs out when they were out. So for the beginning, you want to do the slide, then tap the kick. Just kept practicing over and over again. Slide, tap the kick. Slide, tap the hard kick. And then for the other part with the crystal ball, I would just practice double tapping to the silhouette. I think that's what she's saying there. And then after that, I would work on the practice on this. There we go. See, I'm still having a rough time with it. And then once I got all used to all of that, I put it all together and started adding in that crouch punch. And then once you practice it enough, I practiced this for about 6 hours, I think. Once I got that, then once I started putting it together that way, it sort of, everything just came together after just working at it a little bit to figure out the timing. So practice from everything from ignoring the crouching hard punch and just stand back. You can stand back from the start. I'll show you. Just practiced all that. everything from down. Then once you've mastered that, I'm still not 100% on it. Once you've mastered that, as you can see, the 3 balls that are left, I haven't button mashed anything or used any additional orbs. Once you've mastered that timing, there's not really a whole lot of timing. It's a lot of muscle memory, but most of them are pretty quick. Then I would add in that crouching hard punch. So you could walk up, but I got lazy and I'd bring Ryu to me though before I started it. Yeah, and then, you know, of course you're going to drop a few things and fail a few things, and then just keep working from top to bottom. And if you find you're losing your rhythm, at any point, just stop and re-practice that part. So as you see there, I failed. I missed a part, but I kept going through the motions, just so I can keep that feel. Because as soon as you stop, if you keep trying again, you're going to sort of lose your memory of some of those parts. And see, that's what I keep dropping, the uppercut motion there. As you see, I was tapping in orbs, I was button mashing a bit, so one of my light orbs actually launched out. There we go. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps a little bit. To be honest, like it's again really muscle memory. So I worked from the top down, just breaking it down from the light medium punch to the crouch kick to get the timing into the V trigger, and then that slide. So if you remember, in between the medium slide and hard punch is your hard kick button to get that one orb out. And then in between your launch the crystal ball, it's a double tap to get the 2 middle balls out, and then the double tap, maybe even triple tap if you have to get that to get her V skill out like that. So it's your 2 medium. So those are the orbs you have to use: your hard kick between the slide and the hard punch, and then it's the 2 mediums at the same time to the 2 mediums to the same time again. So hopefully that helps anybody. It's just work from the top down, little bits at a time, and that'll develop the muscle memory enough and get the timing. And if you are struggling with one part of it, such as like I was with the getting the ball to explode in the uppercut, just practice that piece, break it down that way. Like I had to do that one quite a few times just to realize what I was doing. And like I said, make sure you're pulling back after that crouching hard punch, like at least down back, to make sure you get the proper input for that launch of the crystal ball, because that one was another one I was struggling with as well. I kept launching it up was my problem, sort of like as if I was doing a fierce to a fierce. So again, sorry, hope that really helps. If not, let me know in the comments, especially for the viewer that was requesting this. Let me know what specifically you need help with there, whether it's timing or whatever. Because yeah, this one is a little tricky to practice. But for everybody, please subscribe if you want. Any comments below will be helpful, just so I can make sure I get these videos right for you guys. I learn differently than others. I'm using a fight stick, other people are using pads. So hopefully this helps, and yeah, good luck with this and enjoy.